Thank you. Yeah, I guess you are also really tired for the very long day, so I'm trying to make a lot of examples for you. So, first questions. Who think that this one is the original or the real photos? And who think this is the Photoshop one? And who of you have seen these photos before? You saw it? Yeah. Okay. So this is the real photos where you see that just because of the model, she's wearing a black legging or trousers. So then we see that a kind of fake photo, but indeed, this is the real one. This is another example I want to show to you. There's a cow here. Same questions, real or fake, or real or Photoshop? And this is a Photoshop one. So they try to take a cow and put it on a car. Here's another very famous example we saw in, I believe in 2000 and, I don't remember the time, yeah, 2008. So where the Iran, they show photos, and this photo went viral, where they show that they have 4 missiles successfully launched. But indeed, later on, they figure out that one of those was failed, and they try to clone another one and to make the fake one. So they have only 3 missiles successfully launched, but then they show to the world that everything is successfully. Here we see another example. I don't know if you see the movie. Yes. So it just slightly make, some public figure looks nicer, thinner, more strong, more elegant. So we don't know if it's fake or not fake, but just kind of thing you see we apply Photoshop to have some effect to influence to your opinions. And we hear some fake news, completely fake. And then I saw this several times, and then I know that Norwegian people, you don't want this happen, I guess. Although I don't understand Norwegian, but I check it, and then, yeah, it's a totally fake one. Also, we have some news from parody news. So we totally knew it's the fake one, but maybe someone tried to use this and publish somewhere can make some influence to you also if you don't know that this news came from some parody sources. Here's my favorite work. So I spent around 6 years working on this field. So some of these photos are completely generated by computer graphics. So using computer software, making from scratch to have those photos. And some of those photos are the real one. I don't ask you the same question again, but again, yeah. Which one do you think are the real photos and which one are computer generated? Are the real robots? So here, the first one, here is computer graphics. Freeman is also computer graphics photos. Also this, and this. So these photos with the star are completely generated by a designer using software. At the same time, we have something, real photos, but look like a virtual one. Have you seen here? So this is my work is we try to verify this information. And we do a lot of things like we try to verify the content, we try to verify the context, and we try to verify if the title, the content, the multimedia content is matched together on the news. So today I just show you one, the very bottom one. So I'm focusing today on photos and image forensic mainly. This is what we are doing. It's quite complicated. So what you've seen from the real world go through your cameras. First thing, go through your lenses. You have some effect. The light go through the lens and then go through something we call color filter array, where you understand only red, green, and blue. And then it touches to the sensor of the camera. After that, we have some in-camera process, like you enhance the contrast. You try to put the EV there, and then we have some compressions inside the camera. So the whole process, every step of these things left some traces where we, forensics, we can try to review what happened when the light go through the cameras and go out when you see the photos like what you have seen these days. But actually, it's a very complicated one, so I try to summarize this thing to something that everyone can use currently technology to do this. So we remember that whenever you have fake photos, normally, most of the case is to start from real photos. So the first thing, the easiest one, you can try to do some reverse image search. So since it started from some real photos, we might have a chance to get back the original one from the reverse search engine. Or we can try to find some inconsistent from normally from the shadows, from the light, or from the reflection. Or we can check the metadata. More advanced, we can zoom in, see something really small, and we can see something not really consistent inside photos. So those 4 steps are really doable for most of us. When you use some very basic technology, you can review if a photo has been modified or not. Somehow, you can use some more advanced tools. So now, these days, there are available quite a lot of tools that allow you to use some forensic technique to check if the photo is modified or not. But this one is a little bit more complicated than the first 4 I showed you. And the last one is really belong to some, we would say, investigator. So we try to magnify the differences between the sensor, between the noises, between the patterns to see if a photo or a video has been modified or not. So now, again, I show you a lot of examples. This one I just received last week, and I like it. So I received from a friend of mine who is really a senior engineer, and he lives in Sydney. He posted this photo on his Facebook, and he claimed that these are real photos because he totally trusts the photographer. And then he argued with a lot of our friends. We said that it's fake. He said it's real. And then I didn't know that things happen. And then a friend of mine sent me these photos, so I tried to use something to check. And it's quite easy to find it. So I just take the photos, I use Google, upload it, try to do reverse search, and receive a lot of photos. So you just click one of these, you receive back a photos, happened 6 months before that, exactly the same things. You can match them. So just by Google for just 1 minute, and you can find the original photos. Of course, in this case, I am lucky. I get the original photos, maybe not original one, but at least I got a version before the one they use very quickly. Another example, this is a lake in Italy, and this is a beautiful lake, and this is the fake photos. Can you spot where is the fake part in these photos? So some of my friends, they say that the color is not real. But indeed, this lake is very, very, very weird because they have 2 weeks in a year. The trees turn to orange, not yellow like normal. So the color is real, but the reflection is wrong. So we just do some small check. Let's say you plot a light through one point and one in the reflection one. You see the middle point. I do the same with several points in the photos. You see this here. Same with the mountain far away. Sorry, people in the back, can you see this? And do the same thing here. Same with this, and the same with the trees here. Yes, and I had the middle point. Then I draw a line through this. And you see there is a line go through all the middle point, and this is impossible in practice because the reflection must be lying on the lake. So these points are not. You see the tree is closer to us, and the mountain is further. So the middle point should not be in the same line. So the reflection was modified. And in this, I was a guy who took the photo and modified this. So, yes, this is confirmed. I took another photos on Wikipedia, and you see this. I apply exactly the same process. We see this. Draw a line, take the middle point, draw a line, and another one. And now you see this. They are a little bit higher, a little bit lower, and really much lower. You see this, so we don't have that the same thing. So this is the real reflection, comparing to the previous one with the fake one. I go next. So when you have photos, mainly we have 2 parts of the photos. The first one we call the header, where they contain information of when you shot the photo, when you create the photos, what is the resolution of the photos, everything about the header, about the metadata of the photos. And another part is about the data. So the thing that you are seeing. So normally, this is another way that you just use whatever software like you can use. I think they call photos now in Apple, or you can use Picasa, you can whatever tools, you can check the EXIF header, and you see every information here. So if you see something wrong here, you can have some hint that if the photo has been modified or not. So they have a lot of information here that you can see and check. And nowadays, there are a lot of tools that allow you just upload a photo, and then you can have a lot of information get from the photos. Many. Last thing is I just showed to you another technique is you jump in. So here is another famous example. So here we have 3 people here from the American Idol, and then it's very hard to check if it's real or not real. But when you really jump into the eyes, you will see that the light in the people are not consistent. We see some flash in one eyes, and the other you don't see this. So in this example, we see that they're not consistent. You see this here clearly. So this guy was blind to the original photos by just jumping in. Another examples, I show this example so many times to almost every presentation I made. And same own questions, where is the fact part of these photos? Something like, I love this example because most of the photographer, when they saw this photo, they can spot almost every part of the fact. But different from normal photography techniques, forensic techniques allow you to have some measure. Not only saying this part, oh, I know this fact because I'm used to do this. So in this case, we have some tools to measure where is the source of the light. So here we see that, for example, we know that analyzing this area, we know the light must direction to the sun. But on this girl faces, the light in this direction, so the face is splicing into the original photos. By some other deeper analysis, you can see that a lot of part was modified, like the logo here was removed. Also, we see that the helmet was gone from this guy to this. And we have also some trees here just added. Some region here was removed, and also this might be inserted also. So this one photos contain a lot of modification, and this is one of the most famous examples that we have in forensics. I go to my second part, magnification. So the previous one, we can use with tools, we can use nowadays technology, and with this thing, a little bit harder, need more time, and need more research. I go to the compressed photos. We all know that nowadays most of the phone, most of the camera you are using, we are using JPEG compressions. So most of the photos are compressed as JPEG format. This is really great and save a lot of space for us. But on the other hand, this type of compression leave a lot of traces where you can review this. So for example, this is an example when we subtract original photos with a very heavy compressed at the level of 50. You see a lot of trace review here. Next example, we all know where it is, right? And it's quite easy for you, I guess, to spot where is the fact one here. So in this case, for analyzing JPEG, we have a sliding windows. We go through all the photos and check every block of the photos, if it has been modified or not. We are doing like this. So we scan through the whole photo and check all the region that we have in the photos. And then they found the reason. This is the suspected reason here. So they have different way of compression among that area with the rest of the photos. And in this is the original one. Do you remember this? So this is red one, and someone tried to change it to the green color. So by analyzing the way of the compressed different area of the photo, we can reveal where the photo has been modified. Can you guess what is this photo mean? So this one is the sensors noise from a camera. So every devices, every camera, every photos, recorder devices, capturing devices, your phone, your iPhone, your whatever, have a sensor. And the sensor is imperfect. So every sensor has some noises. And every device have a noise like a fingerprint. So your same iPhone doesn't have the same noises. So using the noise, we can distinguish different devices from different photos. So for example, from a photo, we can know that it's from a scanner, or from a phone, or from a camera. Even we can know which model of the camera is. And also we know exactly, if even the same model, we know exactly what camera has been used to take the photos, just based on the noise of the sensors. I think I'm running out of time this, so I skip this thing. So this is one of the part I'm doing for human faces. I just go for the last example one. So go for this one. So this is the one I really like it. So I was spending the entire busy time doing about human faces, real or computer graphics. And in 2012, they have published another work, not on computer graphics, but on how to estimate your heart rate from the video only.
For example, it can reveal the subtle change of redness in a face due to blood circulation so that you can see someone's pulse flow through their face. Using the signal, we can automatically extract vital signs such as the heart rate without touching the patient. Our tests showed that the results accurately match that of state-of-the-art solutions such as the monitors used in hospitals.
So when we see this, we say, wow, this is really great for us because computer graphics doesn't have heart rate. And we just apply this and we detect this. So every video since that moment, until that moment, doesn't have heart rate. So we just try to apply the same technology to detect the heart rate. And the real one has a heart rate. The computer graphics one doesn't have it, so we can distinguish between the real and the fake one. Something I go a little bit quicker. So we believe that if you stand in the sun's direction, you have a shadow. But if you say, let's say in this room, let's say here, I don't have my shadow, but in this it's not correct. If you magnify things, you still see the shadow of the person. So for example, you see it here. When we magnify things, we still observe a shadow. So imagine if you put something here and you don't notice, so you will violate the shadow, still have shadow there. Very last example, this is some tomatoes. 3 of them bought the same day, 6 of them bought the day before. So for us, it's normally very hard to see the differences between the tomatoes. But when you emphasize, when you highlight, you magnify the colors, we see something different. And then these 3 tomatoes is bought more recently than the others, just by magnifying the colors. So we apply this thing to try to check Twitter by using text, combining with forensic photos, and then we design some system that allow us to verify if a tweet is containing something might be fake or not fake. And that's exactly what we have been done and what we are continuing to do recently. Some kind of summarize. So you know that we receive things, and when we detect things, normally it's too late already. So one of my experience or my kind of recommendation is, before we're sharing something, just slow down a bit, think about a bit, and then try to do this. And the last thing, these photos got the award just last week, the best one. This was very famous in Asia, so the price is quite high, and the photographer is really good. So this photo was won the prize of this. But actually, this is the real scene where they took the photos. So you see this. So I don't know which is real or not. Yeah, thank you.